Hello everybody. Hi everybody. Welcome back to Physics Wallah.
The hardest thing is to get started. To get it on paper.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a
Started
second.
to deal with it.
Okay. Wait. Fine. So, hello everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening, guys. Okay. So, all of you, please join the live session. Hi everybody. Welcome back to Physics Wallah. Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, so sorry, there was some technical issues. Right, okay, can I see your comments? I will be a new face for all of you. And so, welcome to Physics Wallah English channel. I will be a new face for you. First of all, I will introduce myself to you, but I want all of you join the live session and let me know your... Okay. So, Raja, hi. Saurabh, hello. Subhojit, hi. Unknown Alpha is there. Okay, hi. Okay. So, how many of you have joined? Okay, so please, everybody join the live session and all of you, please do comment in the chat box. Before starting our live session, I want to know whether the audio, video, screen, chat, comment and everything is okay. All right for you. Okay. So, dear plus 2 students, once again welcome back to Physics Wallah. And here we are going to start something new. This is your first chapter, right? In your plus 2 biology, the chapter coming under zoology session, that is human reproduction, right? Okay, how you feel about this chapter? I know all of you will be from different states of India, right? I'm from Kerala. Do you know? I'm from Kerala, I'm a Malayali and my name is Blessy Biju. My name is Blessy Biju. Can I know the places from where you are coming? Can I know your places, your states, at least your states? Okay. Am I audible? Is there any technical issues associated with this live session? Am I audible? I'm not able to see the comments in the chat box, so please do comment. Can I see your messages? Is there any issues or lag in the comment box? You are not replying to my messages, I think. Okay, so every one of you is here to learn the chapter Human Reproduction. What do you feel about this chapter? I think all of you guys have at least read the chapter and there will be some ideas about this chapter, right? In this live session, I invite your undivided attention and throughout the session, spend your 2 hours of this day to this live session and I can make sure or I can assure you that this chapter will be perfect for you. You can score full marks after watching this live session. Are you ready? Hello. Hello, PR Salio. Am I right? Is my pronunciation correct about your name? Okay, PR Slayo. Okay, I don't know the meaning. The names and everything is new for me. So, can I know your states? Can I know your states? Yes, so a chapter for today is human reproduction. If you are ready, we can start the live session, okay? If you are ready, we can start the live session. But before that, I need your permission. Without your permission, I will not be starting. Okay, Penguin. Okay, yes. Okay, I have taken that comment and I will try. Okay. Okay, from UP. Pia Slayo, you are from UP. Okay, Penguin. May I know your state? May I know your state? You are from Kashmir. Okay. Right. Okay. So, our chapter for today is human reproduction. How you feel about this chapter? How you feel about this chapter? Is this chapter okay for you? Do you have any more confusions? More confusions are there for this chapter? If everything is all right, you are ready to learn this chapter once again. We will start. Okay. Okay, thank you, Penkyun. Okay, so first question. From our smaller classes itself, we have learned that definition for reproduction. Can anyone of you Please once more repeat the definition for reproduction. What do you mean by reproduction? Okay. What do you mean by reproduction? What do you mean by reproduction? What do you mean by reproduction? Okay, Utkarsh, you are from Maharashtra and district I don't know. Okay, I'm from Kerala and my district is Calicut. Yes, I'm from Calicut. Okay, okay, Penguin, I'm from Kerala. Kerala. You are from the northern part of India and I'm from the southern part of India, right? But all of us are Indians. Okay. So how can we define reproduction? Initially, we want to clear our basics, right? So from our smaller classes onwards, we have defined reproduction as a production of young ones. Production of young ones. Of the production of young ones. Okay. In biology, the technical term for young ones is offspring or progeny. The technical term is offspring or progeny. So we can simply define reproduction as a process in which parents are giving birth to the young ones, offsprings or progenies. This definition is actually not complete. This parent has to give rise to the offsprings or progenies or young ones of their own kind. They have to produce their own kind of young ones. They have to produce their own kind of young ones. If a human is giving birth to an organism which is not similar to the parent, that means which is not similar to the human itself, then we can't call it as reproduction, because in today's generation so many kind of in vitro fertilization and the advancements in biotechnology has led to the production of young ones by a species which is not similar to that species, right? You have heard about mules, you have heard about tiger, you have heard about liger and all. No, it is all part of biotechnology. It is part of artificial hybridization, artificial selection, but we can't define it as a reproduction. If we are defining reproduction, in the process of reproduction, parents are producing or parents are giving birth to young ones of their own kind. Okay, then only the definition is right. That's all. Okay, and we are moving on to the important parts of this chapter. So this chapter, human reproduction, in your +2 textbook, first chapter in your zoology part, we are starting this chapter by getting to more about reproductive system. First, we will be discussing the male reproductive system. Then we will be discussing the female reproductive system. After that, we have to discuss about gametogenesis. Initially, we will be discussing about spermatogenesis. Then we will be discussing about oogenesis. And after that, our topic is menstrual cycle. I am just introducing you the subtopics of this chapter. Okay. After that, we will be discussing the fertilization and then the event of implantation. After that, we have to know more about pregnancy and embryonic developments that is taking place during the gestation period of 9 months. Okay, and after that, the process of giving birth to the young one, which is parturition, and the mode of giving milk to the new baby, that is lactation, right? So these are the topics we have to learn under this chapter. Okay, so this chapter is starting by introducing two important points or two basic points. In the starting of the chapter, it is said that humans are sexually reproducing organisms and humans are viviparous organisms. So our first question comes here. What do you mean by sexual reproduction? What is the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction? What is the difference between asexual and sexual reproduction? From our smaller classes onwards, we are defining sexual and asexual reproduction. Can you differentiate? Actually, we know that there are two modes of. Okay. Okay. Actually, we know that there are two modes of reproduction and the two modes are asexual and sexual mode of reproduction. So, can you please tell me what is the difference between an asexual and a sexual reproduction? Okay. Yeah, Utkarsh is saying reproduction is fusion of gametes. Sorry, Utkarsh, reproduction is not a fusion of gametes. The process of fusion of gametes is fertilization. We will be learning more about it. Actually, in this chapter, all the process, all the reproductive events will be discussed. Okay, don't worry. You might be knowing some certain points and you will be confused with a certain another points. No problem. From the base itself, we will be clearing every points, every topics associated with this chapter. Okay. Yeah. Sugamade, ma'am, I think Penguin is trying to speak in Malayalam. Okay, it's all right. So, anyway, can you please tell me the difference between sexual and the asexual mode of reproduction? Any difference? Anyway, human beings are sexually reproducing organisms. In sexual mode of reproduction, two partners are involved. What is the main point? Two partners are involved. Two partners are involved. But that two partners has to produce two different kinds of gametes. So, simply two partners are involved. That statement is not right. Two males, two females involved in sexual reproduction. That's not okay. Two partners producing two different kinds of gametes. They have to produce two different kinds of gametes. Then only the definition for sexual reproduction will be okay. So, which are the two partners? In case of humans and all, the male partner will be there, a female partner will be there. So, male partner will be producing the male gamete, that is sperm, and the female partner should produce the female gamete, which is a female gamete. It is the ovum or egg. All right. So, sexual reproduction means two partners who should be involved, and these two partners should produce two different kinds of gametes. In case of humans, the male gamete is sperm and the female gamete is ovum or egg, right? Yeah. Yes, very good, Penguin. That's the exact definition for reproduction, okay? I don't know, Penguin. You should bring all your friends. Then that number, we can increase that number, okay, Penguin? Why is here only 12 people? You are asking me. You bring all your friends, okay? So, what is meant by asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction means only one parent should be there, or only one parent is involved. That is okay. One parent is enough. One parent is enough, and that parent will be producing offspring like exact copies. In case of asexual reproduction, these parents will be producing young ones which is exactly similar to the parents, just like we are taking a photostat. No differences will be there, because in case of asexual reproduction, the event of meiosis, in which variation, recombinations abroad is not involved. But in case of sexual reproduction, since two gametes are involved from two different types of partners, and the sexual cell division, meiosis is involved. So enough kind of variations is involved in sexual reproduction. So variations are involved in sexual reproduction. But in case of asexual reproduction, less variations will be there between the parents and the offspring. So, okay. Thank you, Penguin. You are saying about me that I'm looking gorgeous. Thank you for your compliment. Okay. So, I think that point is clear for you, the difference between sexual and the asexual mode of reproduction. Humans are obviously sexually reproducing kind of organisms. And the second point is, human beings are viviparous organisms. Human beings are viviparous organisms. So, there will be another one term also, no? Yes, there are two kinds of parity. One is viviparity, another one is oviparous organisms, which is involved in oviparity. Okay. So, what is the difference between viviparous and oviparous organisms? Viviparous organisms are giving birth to their young one. Okay. They are giving birth to the young one without the mode of laying eggs. They are not going to lay eggs. Okay. Just like reptiles, just like birds, are we laying eggs? No, humans are not laying eggs. They just give birth to the young ones, okay, through the process of parturition. But in case of oviparous organisms, example is birds, they give rise to their young ones by laying eggs. Okay, egg laying is involved in oviparous kind of organism. So obviously it is okay for you. You can finalize what is the two kind of terms associated with this humans reproduction. Human beings are sexually reproducing organisms and human beings are viviparous organisms. So I hope those 2 points are clear for you. Don't have any doubts, okay? So moving on to the more details of this chapter, moving on to the Penguin, don't insult me. Initially it is a compliment for me. Okay, you want to know the skincare routine after the class. At the end of the class, I will be revealing my skincare routine, okay? Okay, Penguin, okay. So, next, what we have to discuss next. Next, we will be discussing the reproductive events in humans. Actually, this is an important point. Okay, this is an important point because for your examination, sometimes you will get a question like this. They will be giving the question in a rearranged, in a shuffled manner. These events will not be in correct order. They will shuffle these events and they will ask you to rearrange it in correct order. Okay, we have to rearrange it in correct order. So, we all know little about human reproduction. Okay, so for the human reproduction to takes place, initially there should be two partners, right? Just imagine a young one is here. This is a baby. This is a human baby just after the birth. Okay, this is the human baby just after the birth. And this is the old age period of this same human during which this person is going to die. Okay, so in between birth and death, the life is there. No, in between in between birth and death, life is there. So this baby will start growing. Initially, baby will be in the childhood phase. After that, baby will become teenager, right? After that, the adolescent stage will come. After that, only the adult stage will come, right? So in the childhood period, a human cannot involve in reproduction, right? So no reproductive events or the exact process of reproduction is not going to take place during the childhood period. Okay, and the reproduction is starting only by the onset of adult phase, but there is a transition stage in between childhood and adulthood stage, right? And that transition period is the adolescence phase or teenage period, right? So after the teenage, after adolescence, the person will become adult, the person will become reproductively mature, and that time onwards, a human can involve in reproduction. By that period only, the reproductive organs and all events will be in correct alignment and correct maturation. Okay, so for the process of reproduction to take place, some preparatory events has also to be taken place. Okay, so the correct reproductive events in humans is like that. For human reproduction to take place, it is sexual mode of reproduction. So two partners, male and a female partner, should be there, and these two partners should produce different kinds of gametes, that is sperm by the male partner and ovum or egg by the female partner. All right, so the first step that has to happen for a human reproduction take place is to get ready the sperm and ovum. Okay, so sperm and ovum is the gametes, male gamete and a female gamete. So obviously the first step is generation of gametes, and that is termed as, the technical term is gametogenesis. Gametogenesis means generation of gametes. So separating male body, male gamete, sperm will be formed, and separately in female body, the female gamete, ovum will be formed. Okay, so gametogenesis has to take place in male and female. In case of male, the gametogenesis is known as spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis, because it is the generation of sperm. Okay, just like that, in females, ovum has to be generated. So the generation of ovum is known as oogenesis. The generation of ovum is known as oogenesis. So separately, gametogenesis, that means spermatogenesis, and oogenesis has to take place in humans. Okay, that is the first reproductive event. Okay, so in male body, the sperm is ready, and in female body, the ovum is ready as part of gametogenesis, as part of spermatogenesis and oogenesis. But for human reproduction to take place, the male gamete and female gamete, the sperm and ovum has to fuse together, has to meet together, right? Yes. So actually the sperm is located inside the body of male and the ovum is located inside the body of female. Okay, I will show you a picture. I will draw a picture. Yeah. This is the male and this is the female. This is the male and this is the female. Okay. So sperm is present inside male and ovum is present inside female. Okay, for reproduction to take place, the ovum and the sperm has to meet together. How this can meet? Because these two are located in bodies of two different persons. Okay, so for the process of reproduction to take place, the sperm has to be transferred into the reproductive tract of the female. Okay, so there is a process, and the second step for reproduction is transfer of male gamete, that is sperm, from the body of male to the reproductive tract of the female. The transfer process is actually known as insemination, and that is the second event. So initially the gametes are prepared in the body of male and female separately. Since these are present in the bodies of two different persons, the next step is like this. The male has to introduce, or the male has to transfer the male gamete into the reproductive tract of the female, and that process is known as insemination. So through insemination, through the copulatory organ of the man, that means through the penis, the sperm will be transferred into the female reproductive tract. That process is known as insemination. What is the inseminating material here? The process insemination, right? So what is the inseminating material here? The inseminating material is the semen in which sperm is present. Okay, we will be discussing more details later. Okay. Okay, so that is the second step. What is the third step? The third step is fertilization. Okay, so let's move on to the next page itself. So during the process of gametogenesis, sperm is prepared in male body, in female body ovum is prepared. Okay, and in the second step, the sperm is transferred into the reproductive tract of the female through the process of insemination. So now just imagine, this is the female body, this is a female reproductive tract. Now the sperm and ovum is inside the reproductive tract of the female. So now the sperm and the ovum have to fuse together. They are fusing together through the process of fertilization. So during the process of fertilization, inside the reproductive tract of the female, that means while speaking specifically, inside the fallopian tube of the female, the male gamete, sperm and the ovum which is produced during the oogenesis is fusing together, okay, through the process of fertilization. So that process of fusion of male and female gamete from the fallopian tube of the female is known as fertilization. I am just introducing to make you understand the correct reproductive events. After that, we will be discussing each and every topics in detail. Okay. So during fertilization, male gamete and female gamete, sperm and ovum will fuse together. And after fusion, they will be forming a single-celled zygote. Okay. They will be forming a single-celled zygote. So the process will be like this: the sperm, and this is the ovum. Okay. This is the sperm and this is the ovum. Actually, after meiosis only the sperm is forming and ovum is forming after spermatogenesis and oogenesis respectively. So, after this meiosis, sperm will become haploid, ovum will also become haploid. Okay, during fertilization, sperm and ovum will fuse together and they will become a single-celled zygote. Okay, during the fertilization, the haploid nucleus of the sperm and the haploid nucleus of the ovum will fuse together and they will be re-bringing the twin condition. They will be re-bringing the diploid condition. So what is the ploidy of zygote? Zygote is diploid in nature. Okay, the haploid sperm, haploid ovum fuse together. Both of these single cells fuse and they again is forming a single celled zygote. Okay, the ploid is diploid twin. Hi Piyush. Piyush, I remember you. I think you were there in my Malayalam classes. Are you the same Piyush? Okay, thank you Piyush. So I got love from Odisha. Thank you so much. Okay, yes. So for zygote formation is the next step. After zygote formation, since zygote is a single cell, right? Zygote is a single cell, and from the single cell zygote, the entire baby has to be formed. Okay, so this is single cell, and actually organisms are multicellular. We are multicellular. A newborn, a young one, it is multicellular. So from the single cell, the newborn with multicellular nature, apart from the multicellular nature, they have so many organ systems, so many organs, so many tissues. All these situation has to be formed, right? So for this zygote, enormous amount of cell division, enormous amount of cell differentiation, everything has to take place, and gradually the formation of multiple cells, tissues from this multiple cells, organ from this tissues, organ systems from this organs, etc. has to take place, right? So to this zygote, the zygote initially is like this single set. Cleavage, cell division will be occurring, right? Just mitosis. Cell division will be occurring during the mitosis or during the cell division of the zygote. It will become 2 cell, it will become 4 cell, it will become 8 cell, it will become 16 cell, it will become 32 cell, it will become 64 cell. Just like that, the number will go on increasing, and Along with that, kind of differentiation will also take place. During the differentiation, gradually all the organs and all the organ system will form. Okay, so during the conversion of zygote to the young one, a lot of phases or stages are involved. Okay, so for that, cleavage is there and the zygote is going through so many phases. One of the phases, blastula. This phase is very important because only during the blastula phase this embryo is going to get implanted in the uterus. Okay, so the next event is implantation. Once the blastula got implanted in the endometrial lining on the inner lining of the uterus, it is fixed there and it is undergoing a 9 months period of development. Okay, we all have heard that. We all got developed from our mother's womb, right? 9 months we were in our mother's womb. Okay, so once zygote got converted into blastula after so many divisions, the blastula is going to get implanted in the uterus. Once the embryo is getting or the blastula is getting implanted in the uterus, it will be there for 9 months, and during that 9 months the embryonic development will take place, right? At the time our eyes, ears, hands, all the major organs, hairs, everything will be formed and we will finally become a newborn. Okay, yes, so that 9 months period of embryonic development is known as gestation period. After 9 months period of gestation, it's time for delivery, which is technically known as parturition, the process by which young one is expelled out from the mother's womb. That process known as parturition. And after parturition, the newborn baby is fed with the mother's breast milk. Okay, that process of feeding of baby with the mother's breast milk is known as lactation. Okay, so actually these are the correct order of events during human reproduction. So just look it once, and after that we will be discussing every topics in detail. Initially, for human reproduction to occur, male and female gamete has to be formed, and that term generally is known as gametogenesis. Specifically, it is spermatogenesis in male and it is oogenesis in female. Once spermatogenesis and oogenesis is completed and the couple is ready for getting for if the couple want to have a child, then what will happen? They will involve in insemination, they will involve in coitus, they will involve in sexual act, and during insemination the semen is transferred into the female reproductive tract, and the semen once reach near the ovum from the fallopian tube, they will fuse together. That process is known as fertilization. Haploid sperm and haploid ovum will fuse together and they will form the diploid zygote, and it will undergo so many cell division. The cell divisions taking place for zygote is technically known as cleavage, and it will be going through so many phases. The phase in which implantation is occurring is blastula. So zygote will get transformed into blastula and blastula will get implanted in the endometrium of the uterus. And once it got implanted, it will be under embryonic development for 9 months. It is known as gestation, and after gestation it is parturition, and then it is lactation. Is this all right? Is this all right? Okay. Hello, Akansha. Who is Akansha? What happened, Akansha? What were you asking for? Ma'am, please, what were you asking for, Akansha? I didn't got you. Yes, Akansha is asking, ma'am. I'm Akansha. Which topic is going, ma'am? Yes, the topic is human reproduction. Okay, the chapter is human reproduction. Fine. The chapter is human reproduction. Hello, Nidhi. Hi. Hi, Nidhi. So, is this okay? Is this all right for you? Do you have any confusions? Any more confusions? So, let's start with gametogenesis. Okay, we have to start with gametogenesis. We will be starting gametogenesis. So, children, dear children, okay, please listen. We have to start gametogenesis first. Okay, gametogenesis first. But just imagine, where the male gamete sperm is getting formed. Actually, sperm is formed through spermatogenesis, right? Sperm is formed through spermatogenesis, and the female gamete ovum is formed through oogenesis. From where this process is taking place? Yes, I am Akash Sukamano. Okay, Sukamana. I'm all right. I'm fine. What about you? What's your name? Ravi Lelida. Ravi Lelida. I think you are from Kerala. Yes. So please let me know. from where the process spermatogenesis takes place and from where the process of oogenesis takes place. Obviously, the spermatogenesis is taking place from male reproductive system. It is taking place from male reproductive system. Just like that, the process of oogenesis, which is taking place in human female, is taking inside the female reproductive system. It is taking place inside female reproductive system. Do you have any doubt for this? Do you have any doubt for this? So in our 10th standard also we have learned the structure of male and female reproductive system. But once again, yes, Piyush, I saw your message. So once again, we have to learn properly, or we have to just revise the male and female reproductive system. Hi Anoj, hello Anoj, hi. Okay, hi Sachin, good evening dears. Okay, I'm getting so many messages. Okay, I'm just getting your messages now. I think there is a small delay. Okay, anyway, so before starting gametogenesis, that means before starting separately spermatogenesis and oogenesis, we have to learn properly. Thank you, Danraj. Thank you so much. I'm teaching nice. Thank you. It's a nice comment, nice compliment. So thank you. Okay. So before learning gametogenesis, we have to learn in detail the male and female reproductive system separately. Okay. So initially we will be discussing the human reproductive system. Human reproductive system. Okay. Yes, human reproductive system. First we will discuss the male reproductive system. We will discuss the male reproductive system. And then we will discuss the female reproductive system. Fine. Then we will discuss the female reproductive system later. Whatever it is, whether it is male or female reproductive system, 4 parts are associated with both. With both of these, 4 parts are generally associated. There will be some slight kind of differences, but generally we can say 4 parts are associated with the male and female reproductive system. The first part associated with the human reproductive system is there will be primary sex organs. There will be primary sex organs. There will be primary sex organs, and then there will be duct system. There will be associated duct system, and there will be associated gland system. There will be associated gland system, and after that we will be having external genitalia. External genitalia. If you want, you can take lecture notes also. Okay. So whatever it is, whether it is male reproductive system, whether it is female reproductive system, 4 parts are associated. Primary sex organs will be there, duct system will be there, gland system will be there, and of course external genita will be there for both male and female. Okay, so just look on to the slide. Okay, this is the male reproductive system and this is a female reproductive system. So we have to find primary sex organ, we have to find gland system, we have to find duct system, and we have to find external genitalia. Okay. Hello Titu. Okay, hello Titu. Hello Mahalakshmi. Hi. Good evening. Good evening dears. Okay, so just look on to this diagrams. This is the male reproductive system and this is the female reproductive system. So what do you mean by primary sex organ? So initially we will be focusing on primary sex organ. What do we mean by primary sex organ? Okay. Males are having the primary sex organ, which is the primary thank you Anuj. Thank you. Okay. Thank you dears. Thank you. So please tell me, what is the primary sex organ in case of males? What is the primary sex organ in case of males? In case of males, the primary sex organ is a pair of testes. I will take another color. In case of males, the primary sex organ is a pair of testes. Okay, a pair of testes. Okay. In case of females, what is the primary sex organ? It is a pair of ovaries. It is pair of ovaries, right? Okay. So this is a pair of testes and this is a pair of ovaries. In case of females, these are the 2 ovaries, and in case of males, these are the 2 testes. Okay. Why it is known as primary sex organ? It is known as primary sex organ. That means there is a secondary sex organ. There are secondary sex organs in case of humans, right? It is known as primary sex organ because it is present in our body since our birth. Testis is present in males since the birth. Male baby is having the primary sex organ testis. Ovary is present since the birth of a female baby. Okay. It is not growing or developing after the birth. It is not developing after the puberty. Since birth it is present. And that's why it is known as primary sex organ. Fine. Yes. Then which are the secondary sex organs? Yes, all the humans are having secondary sex organ. We already have learned that secondary sexual characters are developing during adolescence. The secondary sexual characters and everything, the secondary sex organs and everything is growing only during the puberty. Only by the onset of puberty, the secondary characteristics are developing. It is primary sex organ because it is present in our body since the birth. Okay. And what is the purpose of primary sex organ in case of both male and female? In case of both male and female, what is the purpose of primary sex organ? The primary sex organ in case of male and female, both are mainly involved in the production of gametes. Yes, of course, sperm is produced inside the testis and ovum is produced inside the ovary. So, it is the primary sex organ who is producing the male and female gametes separately in male reproductive system, separately female reproductive system. That is the primary purpose. So, the primary purpose is production of gametes. Okay. Production of gametes is the primary purpose, but they have one more function which is also very crucial. What is the second purpose? Yes, they are producing the hormones. They are producing the hormones. In case of males, inside the testis, androgens like testosterone is produced, and in case of females, inside the ovaries only the main hormones, estrogen and progesterone is forming. Okay, so I think you got it. Hi Naima. Hi Naima. Okay, who is the duck here? Here we have a duck. Whoa, who is the duck here? Okay, so anyway, is this clear for you? The importance of primary sex organ. It is present in our body since birth, and moreover that they are producing the gametes and they are producing the main hormones. Okay, so what is the purpose of ductal system? Thank you, Dhanraj. Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much. Okay, so what is the purpose of the ductal system? So the basic features of primary sex organ is clear for us. What is the basic feature of ductal system? Here you can see the ductal system of males, and of course here we can see the ductal system in females. Okay, once the gamete, that is sperm, is produced inside the testis, right? The sperm is produced inside the testis, all right, yes. But during insemination, the semen is transferred out from the penis, out from the urethral opening only, right? Okay, so the sperm which is produced inside the testis has to reach the penis, and it has to come out through the urethral opening of the penis, right? So the sperm need a tract. So the sperm need a ductal system, a route for traveling, a rod for traveling. So through the ductal system, here you can see the ductal system, some tube-like system. So through the ductal system only, the sperm produced inside the testis is traveling. Okay. So ductal system is the part through which the sperm is traveling. Okay. Le Dongle. Okay, duck. Okay, I understood. Le Dongle. Okay, nice name. It is tough for me to read. Okay. So that's about ductal system of males. Just the introduction. Okay. In case of females, you can see the uterus and all. This is the ovary, right? So once ovum is produced inside the ovary, that ovum is transferred into the fallopian tube. This is the fallopian tube. Okay, you could see two fallopian tube on both sides. We can see the fallopian tube or oviduct. Okay, so the ovum released from the ovary is captured by the fallopian tube, and from the spot only, from this spot, I will show the correct spot. From this spot only fertilization is taking place. During insemination, the sperm will be traveling like this. Sperm will reach here, and during ovulation, the ovum is produced inside the ovary will be reaching or is captured by the fallopian tube, and from this spot, from this particular spot, ovulation will take, from this particular spot, fertilization will take place. I already said that from this fallopian tube only fertilization is taking place, right? Okay, so from the fallopian tube, fertilization will take place. So here the ovum, and of course after reaching the reproductive tract, The sperm is traveling through this route, okay. And even after fertilization, zygote is formed here. Zygote will be undergoing so many divisions. It is undergoing cleavages and it has to get transformed into so many phases like the blastula and all. No, yes, the blastula is getting fixed in the uterus, okay. So the ductal system is involved in transportation of many things in case of females also. We will be discussing it in detail. Actually, the external genital is not properly shown here. We will discuss it later. In case of males, the copulatory organ, the penis is the external genitalia. But in case of females, it is little more complicated. We will be discussing it later. And about the glands, in case of males, you could see certain, glands. Okay, there are 3 types of glands. During the transport of sperm through this ductal system, the glands will be adding the secretions, okay, and only the secretions of the gland plus the sperm together is coming out through the penis during insemination, okay. Yes, during ejaculation, only the secretions of glands plus sperm together is coming out, and together the secretion of glands and the sperm is known as semen, okay. You will be confused what is semen. Semen means sperm which is produced inside the testis plus the secretions of the glands, okay. We will be discussing any easy way to remember this diagram. Okay, we will discuss. Okay, Anuj, I will inform you the way to understand this, way to memorize this diagram. Okay, all right. Okay. So just like that, in case of females, the associated gland is the mammary gland. We will be discussing everything later. Okay. So Anuj, I added this picture only for you to understand. Okay. You need to remember only the diagrams that is provided in your NCERT textbook. Okay. Sometimes, not sometimes, of course, seriously, 100% you have to learn to label all the diagrams. Okay, some labelings will be there. No, you have to learn to label all the labelings that is given in your NCERT textbook. Okay, so now let's discuss in detail about the male reproductive system. Okay, now what happened? What all I said is just the introduction. I was just introducing you the chapter. So this much topic is all right. I was just trying to build the foundation for your understanding of human reproduction. Now we are entering into the details of the human reproduction. Now you understood the introduction of human reproduction, like they are involved in sexual reproduction, they are viviparous organism. Actually, they are giving birth to the young one. They are not going to lay eggs. And also you got the just an idea of the correct order of reproductive events also. And I also have introduced you that we were discussing in detail about the male and female reproductive system in the initial part. And in case of both male and female, primary sex organ is there, ductal system is there, glands is there, and also both of them are having their own specific kind of external genitalia. Now we have to learn little more scientifically. Okay. Hello. Yes. So are you ready? So we are discussing the male reproductive system. So while discussing the male reproductive system, the primary sex organ testis, the ductal system, the gland system, and the external genitalia. 4 things will be discussed in detail. Okay. So where is the location of male reproductive system? That is the first question we have to address. What is the location of male reproductive system? It is located in the pelvis region. What do you mean by pelvis region? It is the lower abdominal region. All right, it is the lower abdominal region. So in this diagram, actually, this is the lower abdominal region. This is the pelvis region. Here only you can see the male reproductive system. And in this diagram, this is actually the front view and this is a lateral view. You can see in the lower abdomen, in the pelvis region, the male reproductive system is located in case of males. Okay. So first we will be discussing about the primary sex organ, that is pair of testes. Then only we will be discussing the duct and gland and the external genitalia. Which hormones produced? Okay, then Raj, we will discuss. Okay, in case of sexual contact, which hormone will be produced? There is no particular, it's not a kind of hormone we have to discuss in this chapter. Okay, no such hormone is mentioned in this chapter. Okay, there are certain kind of hormones like happy hormones, dopamine, serotonin, everything will be released during the time of sexual contact, but no specific hormones like testosterone, progesterone, FSH, LH, just like that. No such hormones are involved during sexual contact. Okay, but for the event of reproduction, the complete event of reproduction. During the entire event of reproduction, so many hormones are involved. Okay. Okay, so it is male reproductive system. This is a picture provided in your NCERT textbook. I will be coming back to this diagram, but before that, I want to know, or I want to make you know, we are actually starting the discussion of primary sex organ testis. What is the location of testis? Anuj, yes, we will be. I already said, Anuj, I'm just only giving the introduction. Okay. In detail, external genital is provided here. I will show you. The 4 topics we will be discussing in detail. Okay. Here it is the external genitalia. Okay, here in this part we will be discussing the external genitalia. Now we have to discuss about the testis. Okay. First, we will be discussing about testis. Then we will be discussing about ductal system. Then we will be discussing about gland system. And then only we will be discussing about the external genitalia in the correct order in case of females also. Okay. Alright. So, what is the location of primary sex organ testis? Testis is extra abdominal in position. What do you mean by extra abdominal? Extra means outside, right? So, outside the abdomen. So, in this picture, we already said that the male reproductive system is located in the pelvic region. But specifically looking, the testis, here you could see the testis. I will outline the testis once more. This is the testis, okay. So, the testis is located actually outside the abdominal cavity. It is not inside the abdominal cavity. Here, the abdominal cavity will enter, right? So, outside the abdominal cavity, the testis is placed in a sac-like structure. And what is the sac-like structure here? The sac-like structure is known as scrotum. Here you could see, this is a sac-like structure and this is a scrotum. We will call it as scrotal sac. Inside the scrotal sac only we could see testis. Okay, 2 testis, pair of testis will be there, one towards the right side and one towards the left side. So a pair of testis is located in the scrotal sac and that too in extra abdominal position. That means it is not inside the abdominal cavity, it is outside the abdominal cavity, and that's why we will call it as extra abdominal positioning, extra abdominal location of the testis. Okay. So, why it is so? Why the testis is located outside the abdominal cavity? Because inside the testis only, the event of spermatogenesis and the production of androgens is taking place, right? So, for the correct procedure or for the perfect formation of sperm and androgens, a body temperature 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius temperature lower than the normal body temperature is required. Okay, we have almost the temperature range 37 degrees Celsius, right? In that body temperature, the process of spermatogenesis and hormone production will not take place properly. So, for the proper production of spermatogenesis, 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal body temperature is required, and that's why the testis is placed outside the abdominal cavity in a sac-like structure known as scrotum, the scrotal sac. Okay. During the development time, that means when the male baby was in 6th month of pregnancy, during the gestation period, when the baby was in 6th month and all, the testis was actually formed inside the abdomen only. Okay. But towards the end of the 6th month or by the starting of the 7th month of the gestation, the testis descended towards the extra abdominal position. That means it descended towards the scrotal sac and into the extra abdominal position only by the starting of the 7th month of pregnancy. Here you can see it was formed within the abdomen, but during 7th month of pregnancy, it descended into the scrotal sac. Okay. Yes. So that is the point. Every points are actually added in the text. You can collect that. Okay. Hi Vishnu. Why am I laughing? Why are you laughing, duck? I don't know why are you laughing. I don't know. What's the reason for you laugh? I don't know. Okay. So let's explain the structure of testis. Next phase, the hormone which makes testis descend. You don't need to learn about that. There is no particular hormone. No particular hormone is involved in that. Okay. It is actually a lot of process. So many signalings and everything is involved. You will be discussing, or if you want to learn that, take biology in your higher studies and you can learn that now. Okay, we don't have to learn about it now. So just consider this testis. I'm redrawing it. We want to know the internal structures that is seen inside the testis to know more about spermatogenesis. Okay, while taking the section of testis, we could understand that is divided into almost 250 compartments. Here I can't show you the 250 compartments. I'm just showing few of the compartments. Anyway, the testis is divided into 250 compartments. So almost it is divided into 250 compartments. It is divided into 250 compartments. What is the name of the compartment? Each compartment is known by the term testicular lobule. It is known by the term testicular lobule. So this is one testicular lobule, this is another testicular lobule, this is another testicular lobule. Just like that, in a human testis, almost 250 compartments or 250 testicular lobules are there. And while taking a single testicular lobule, almost 1 to 3, the number will differ from 1 to 3. Sometimes it will be only 1 in one testicular lobule, sometimes it will be 2 in some specific another testicular lobule, sometimes it will be up to 3 tubule, okay, in 3 seminiferous tubule in one testicular lobule. Anyway, in testicular lobules, in each testicular lobules, 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules are seen. How many numbers? 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules are seen. Seminiferous tubules are seen. Just like this, 1 to 3 highly coiled, like you know the wire, no? The headset system and everything, okay? Okay, I will give you Dhanraj. Wait, while reaching the topic, I will explain. Okay. So, yeah, the testis is divided into 250 compartments. Each of the compartment is known as testicular lobule, and inside each of the testicular lobule, 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule is there. You could see some snake-like tubule-like structures. Okay, it is actually present inside the seminiferous tubule. Here we could see this is one testicular lobule. This is another testicular lobule. Inside that, in yellow color, you could see highly coiled seminiferous tubule. Can you see? This is the highly coiled seminiferous tubule. Just like that, 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule seen in each testicular lobule. Okay, and if I am taking a single testicular lobule, just imagine I am taking out the single testicular lobule. Single seminiferous tubule. I am taking out the single seminiferous tubule out, and I am going to take the section. Just imagine this is a seminiferous tubule. This is a seminiferous tubule. Just imagine. Okay, I am going to take the cross section. If I am going to take the cross section, and if I am looking like this, the circular diameter could be seen, right? So I am cutting this, I am taking the section and I am looking like this. Okay, from the top view I am looking. So when I am looking in the top view through a microscope, it will be like this. Okay, the tubule will be like this, and if I am taking the cross section and looking like this, the round part I could see, right? Yes. So I am just taking a single seminiferous tubule. I am taking the cross section and that top view is shown here. Okay, now the seminiferous tubule will look like this. Okay, and inside the seminiferous tubule, it is a lumen like hollow like part. Okay, and we could call the central part as the lumen, and the part towards the wall is known as peripheral part. This is a wall part or peripheral part. This is a peripheral part or this is a wall part. Okay, this is the wall part and this is the lumen part. Okay, at the time, inside each seminiferous tubule, two structures are seen. We could see two structures. Which are the two kinds of structures? The first kind of structure is spermatogonia. The first kind of structure is spermatogonia, and the second kind of structure is Sertoli cells. The second kind of structure is Sertoli cells. So I will be showing towards the wall part of the seminiferous tubule, we could see two kinds of cells. These two kinds of cells are only seen towards the wall of the cell. Okay, seen towards the wall of the cell. So here we could see this spermatogonia. This is the spermatogonia. Just imagine this is the structure spermatogonia, and another kind of structure that is Sertoli cell. In between them, we could see another kind of cell which is known as the Sertoli cell. So what is the function of these two kind of cells? So it is the testis. Inside the testis, testicular lobule is there. This is the testicular lobule. Inside each testicular lobule, 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule is there. I took out one seminiferous tubule, I take the cross section and I am observing like this. Okay. So in the wall part of the seminiferous tubule, two kinds of cells are seen. One is the spermatogonia, another one is the Sertoli cell. So this is the spermatogonia and the round one, the white colored one is the Sertoli cell. Only the sperm is produced from the spermatogonia. So spermatogonia is the precursor cell of sperm. Okay, the sperm is formed from the spermatogonia. Okay, the sperm is formed from the spermatogonia. The spermatogonia is also known as male germ cell. Male germ cell because it is a precursor cell from which the final sperm is formed. Actually, the spermatogonia is diploid, twin in condition. And while meiosis is taking place, while spermatogenesis is completing, this will become sperm and it will reach the lumen part, and now the sperm is only haploid. Okay. So spermatogonia's duty is to complete meiosis and to form sperm from the spermatogonia. Sperm is diploid, and after completion of meiosis by the spermatogonia, that haploid sperm will be formed and sperm could be formed towards the lumen part of the seminiferous tubule. Okay. Now, what is the function of Dhanraj? You are asking doubt from the next chapter, reproductive health. We will be discussing that in the next chapter. Okay. So now, what is the function of Sertoli cell? What is the function of Sertoli cell? Actually, the function of Sertoli cell is this. Sertoli cells are providing nourishment. Sertoli cells are producing nourishment, or they are just providing the growth factors. They are just providing the growth factors for the developing spermatogonia, right? The spermatogonia after meiosis, after spermatogenesis will become sperm and will reach the lumen part, right? So, for the process of this spermatogenesis or during the process spermatogenesis, so many growth factors, so many nutrients, so many nourishments are actually required. Actually, it is growth factors. These growth factors are provided by the Sertoli cells, and that's why the Sertoli cells are known as nurse cells or nourishment cells or sustentacular cells. Okay. Thank you, Penguin. Okay. So that's why the Sertoli cells are known as nurse cell, nourishing cell or sustentacular cells. Okay, I think the topic is okay for you. So, yeah, these are the testicular lobule. You could see the seminiferous tubule here also. And now just read this. Sertoli cell, it is known as supporting cell or nurse cell, gave shape and nourishment to the developing spermatogonia. What is the function of spermatogonia? Spermatogonia becomes sperm through meiosis. Okay, this is a picture that I have shown you, but I showed it by drawing. It might not be a good drawing, it will be a bad drawing. So you just focus on to this picture. So it is a cross section, the top view of the seminiferous tubule. Towards the wall part, you could see the spermatogonia. It is a precursor cell. It is undergoing meiosis, and towards the lumen part, you could see the sperm. Spermatozoa has formed, and in between them, you could see the Sertoli cell. These are the Sertoli cells. Can you see? In between, the Sertoli cells are shown, and these are the spermatogonium. So the Sertoli cells are actually providing nourishment, and that's why growth factors. It is providing growth factors, and that's why it is known as nurse cells or supporting cells. All right. Is that clear for you? Is that clear for you? Yes, it is clear. Okay. So, yeah, this is the testis. Testis is placed inside the scrotal sac. This testis is divided into compartments known as testicular lobule, and inside the testicular lobule we could see 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule. Am I right? Yes. Okay. Okay, Anuj. Okay. Then actually you could see some spaces in between the seminiferous tubule. No? Yes, these are the spaces in between, some intercellular spaces in between the seminiferous tubule. In between the seminiferous tubule, you could see some spaces, right? If I am drawing 3 cells here like this, in between the intercellular space are seen, right? Just like that. In a single testicular lobule, 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule is there, even though in between the seminiferous tubule some spaces are there. Those spaces are known as interstitial space or stroma space. This space, in between the space is known as interstitial space. Interstitial space or stroma. It is known as interstitial space or stroma. And inside this interstitial space or stroma, actually we could see three kinds of cells. Which are the three kinds of cells? Stroma contains small blood vessels, one type. It will contain another kind of cells known as Leydig or interstitial cell, which is very important, and also some immunologically competent cells are also seen. So, what is the function of Leydig or interstitial cell found in between the seminiferous tubule in a testicular lobule? They are involved in the production of androgens. They are involved in the production of androgens, the male hormones. One example for androgen is just testosterone. Testosterone is only one example. Testosterone is one example. So we already said that. We said that the male primary sex organ, testis, it is involved in the production of male gametes, sperm, and it is also involved in the production of male hormone, right? Androgens. Yes. So now we found that inside the seminiferous tubule, sperm is formed, and in between the seminiferous tubule, in the space of stroma, the Leydig cells or interstitial cell are involved in the production of androgens. Clear? Okay. Okay, Chitra. Okay, Chitra. So I got your love from Idukki. So Idukki is a very beautiful, very hilly kind of place from Kerala. This Chitra is from Idukki. Okay. Okay, so that's about testis. That's about the primary sex organ. Now we are discussing about male accessory duct system. We are discussing about male accessory duct system. It is very easy for male accessory duct system to understand. Okay. Yes, Jeevik. Okay. So, this is the testis, you could see. And this is the testicular lobules. These are the testicular lobules. The testicular lobules are shown. I will take another color for better understanding. So, these are the testicular lobule, you could see. And these are the seminiferous tubules shown, right? Seminiferous tubules are shown. Inside that, the sperm is formed, right? Yes. Now, the sperm produced inside the testis has to travel through all these routes and it has to reach the urethral tip of penis during insemination, during ejaculation, during all such events, right? So, it has to travel through the duct system. 4 kinds of ducts are involved. Which are the 4 kinds of ducts? The first kind of duct is retitestis. The first kind of duct is retitestis. The second kind is vasa efferentia, and the third type is epididymis. The third type is epididymis, and the fourth type is vas deferens. Okay, the third type is vas deferens. I will be showing all these duct systems here itself. Okay, so please look, please focus. So these are the seminiferous tubule, and inside the seminiferous tubule, sperm has formed. And that sperm is now moving on to the retitestis. This is a part of retitestis. It is a tube-like system. That is a part of retitestis. And from that retitestis, you could see some tubules rising, moving on to the posterior side, right? Those structures is known as the vasa efferentia. So you saw the retitestis, you saw the vasa efferentia. This is the retitestis, and these ones, the tubes, the ducts that is emerging to the posterior side is the vasa efferentia. And on the posterior side, again you could see some ducts bulged like this. This is a bulged kind of structure, right? This bulged kind of third type of duct is known as the epididymis. So that is the epididymis. Okay. And here the epididymis is completed, and from there onwards, actually you could see a tube-like system rising. In this picture, it is evident. Okay, so inside the testis only retitestis is seen. Inside the testis only vasa efferentia is seen, and on the top part here only what we could see here on the part we could see the epididymis also. Okay, from the epididymis here you could see a duct ascending into the abdominal cavity. Actually, testis was placed in the extra abdominal position, right? So, the fourth duct, that is the vas deferens, is ascending again into the abdominal cavity, and then only it is coming out through the penis. Okay, I will show it in another picture. Okay, yes, look on to this picture. Again, look on to this picture. Look on to this picture. So, this is the vas deferens. See, this is the vas deferens. Actually, the testis is in extra abdominal position. Okay. So, the retitestis is here. The vasa efferentia is here. And here you could see the Epididymis. Okay, from the epididymis, the fourth duct, that is vas differences arising, and this vas differences ascending again into the abdominal cavity. Okay, and there it is associating, or there it is joining with the duct, with the glands of the males. Okay, there it is joining with the. No, Dhanraj, I'm not ignoring you. Don't tell like that. I didn't see your message. Please type that message once again. I will not ignore. Before completing this chapter, I will give answer to your doubt, to your question. So please type it once again. I am thinking that I didn't saw one of your messages. Sorry for that, because the comments are running. So you just type that message. Okay, once again, once more. Give me one more chance. Okay. So what happens? Yes, so this is the vas difference. Vas difference has ascended into the abdominal cavity. Okay. And in this picture, now we are focusing on to the three glands that is seen in males. Okay, so three types of glands are seen in males. So now onwards, togetherly we are going to discuss the duct system and the gland system. Okay, so the glands are like this. In case of males, paired seminal vesicle is there. Paired seminal vesicle is there, and the next one, unpaired prostate gland is there. Unpaired prostate gland is there, and finally paired bulbourethral gland is there. Paired bulbourethral gland is there. This bulbourethral is also known by one another name, which is known as the Cowper's gland, which is known as the Cowper's gland, right? So in this picture, yeah, you know that, you are telling that. Okay, okay, Diba. Yeah, you are telling it is prostate gland, bulbourethral gland. Very good. Okay, so here you could see a gland like this in this shape. Okay, it is looking like a bitter gourd, right? So bitter gourd shaped glands, two glands are there, which is the seminal vesicle, and here two small glands, just a button shaped gland. It is the bulbourethral gland. The seminal vesicle and the bulbourethral glands are two in number. It is paired. In between them, you could see one another gland which is only one in number, the unpaired gland, that is the prostate gland. Okay, that is the prostate gland. It is the prostate gland. Okay, so three glands are there, three types of glands are there. So what we were saying about the duct system. From the seminiferous tubule, the semen is ejected into the retitestus, and from the retitestus into the vasa efferentia, from vasa efferentia into the epididymis, and from epididymis into the vas difference. So it is the vas difference which is rising like this. Okay, so this vas difference has reached here. Okay, just imagine, vas difference has reached here. Okay, and now from this point it is joining with the secretions of seminal vesicle. So this vas difference has joined with the secretion of the seminal vesicle, and from this point the secretion of seminal vesicle and the sperm coming from the vas difference together is in one single duct, which is known as the ejaculatory duct. Now the ejaculatory duct is joining with the urethral opening, and togetherly it is opening as a single opening through the penis, and that is the urethral opening. The tip of the urethral opening, the pore of the urethral opening is known by the term urethral meatus. Okay, so this is the urinary bladder. Urethra is arising actually from the tip of the urinary bladder, right? So this is the urethra. This in case of males, it is a big urethral opening. Okay, so to the urethral opening, the common ejaculatory duct is added, and together the secretions from the ejaculatory duct, that means the secretion of the glands and the secretion of the sperm togetherly is coming out through the urethral opening during the time of insemination or ejaculation, and on the way the prostate is adding its secretion, the bulbourethral gland is also adding its secretion. Is this clear? Is this clear for you? Is this clear for you? Yes, Tanika, hi Tanika Sharma, hello. So dears, can you please tell me, is this clear for you? Is this clear for you? So guys, please tell me, is this clear for you? So what is the course of sperm transport from the seminiferous tubule? From the seminiferous tubule, it is opening into the retitestus, from retitestus into the vasa efferentia, and from the into the epididymis, and from the into the vas difference. Okay, vas difference is joining with the opening of the seminal vesicle, and togetherly it is forming a common ejaculatory duct. Then it is joined with the urethra and it is opening out through that opening of the penis, which is known as the urethral meatus. Okay, and this urethra again is receiving the secretions from the prostate and the Cowper's gland or bulbourethral gland. Okay, so is this topic clear for you? Is this topic clear for you? So the male duct systems are reti testis, vas efferentia, epidermis and a vas difference. Okay, male accessory duct. What is the function of duct? Storage and transportation of sperm. That is the function. Okay. So the glands, seminal vesicle, which is paired, prostate gland unpaired, bulbourethral gland or Cowper's gland again is paired. Their collective secretion is rich in fructose, calcium and enzymes. Okay. So the secretions of the glands togetherly is known by the term seminal vesicle. What is seminal vesicle? The secretion of prostate gland, secretion of Cowper's gland or bulbourethral gland and the secretion of seminal vesicle togetherly is known as seminal plasma. So, along with the seminal plasma, when the sperm is added togetherly, they are known by the term semen. So, the inseminating material or the semen which is coming out through the penis during ejaculation or copulation or insemination is actually semen, which is the combination of seminal plasma, secretions of glands and the sperm which is formed during the spermatogenesis, which is actually the male gamete. Okay. Why sometimes sperm exerts from testes in the age of adolescence. It is part of, it is very natural. It is very natural. It is natural part of our life process. Okay. Okay. Because after puberty, after adolescence, actually in very frequently the spermatogenesis is taking place in the body of male. So, we don't have too much of storage will not be there in male system. So, after a particular period of storage in the duct system, it will come out naturally. Okay. It is come out naturally. That is automatic process. That is natural process because we know the epidermis will store the formed sperm. But after a particular period of storage, it will come out naturally. It has to go out and new set of sperms has to be formed. Okay. No, I don't know Hindi. My name is Blessy. My name is Blessy. B-L-E-S-S-Y, Blessy. So, is this all right? So, dears, is this all right? So, my dears, is this all right for you? Is this all right? So, if it is okay, we will moving on to the next topic, that is external genitalia of male. Okay. So actually, the penis is the external genitalia of male, and in case of male, the external genitalia, penis is formed of a specialized kind of spongy tissue. It is formed of okay. It is a kind of abnormality if the sperm is not descending into the scrotum. Okay, it is a kind of abnormality at the time itself. By some sort of surgery or anything, it will be descended. If it is possible through medical science, by medication, by the birth itself, it will be corrected. Okay. Hi Ram Shukar Tiwari. Hello. Hi. Hi Ram. Okay. So, the external genitalia, penis. Okay. The external genitalia, in case of males, the penis is formed of a specialized kind of spongy tissue. So, you know the speciality of sponge. Sponge is having so much pores in between them, right? So, what is the peculiarity of the spongy tissue means? In between the pores of the spongy tissue, blood will fill. And the filling of the blood in between the pores of the spongy tissue is very important for the process of erection. Okay, so that's why the male penis is formed of a specialized kind of loose connective tissue, which is a spongy tissue. And the main part is that the enlarged or cone-shaped end part of the penis is known as glans penis. And that glans penis is covered by a loose fold of skin called a prepuce or foreskin. Yes, you could see the tip part of the male penis. It is almost a triangular in shape, and that structure, that triangular shaped part, the cone shaped part is known as glans penis, and that glans penis is covered by a movable kind of skin, and that movable skin is known as foreskin or prepuce. Okay. So that's about male reproductive system. Now moving on to the female reproductive system. Just like the male reproductive system, the female reproductive system is also having 4 parts. They are having primary sex organ, they are having ductal system, they are having gland system, and they are also having external genitalia. Okay, so let's move on to the primary sex organ first. But in case of females, we don't have much to discuss about the primary sex organ, that is testis. It is 2 in number, that means it is paired structure. The more details of ovaries will be discussed while discussing the point of menstrual cycle and oogenesis. Okay, so just understand. Thank you, Prabhat. Okay, so just to understand, the primary sex organ is the ovary. It is producing the female hormones estrogen and progesterone, and also it is producing the female gamete, that is ovum, during the process of oogenesis. Okay, so next we have to discuss about the female accessory ductal system. Which are the accessory ductal system? A pair of fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix and a vagina. Okay, we will look on to the picture. Okay, so in case of females, reproductive system means the fallopian tube. This is the fallopian tube. I will take another color. This is the fallopian tube. Okay, this is the fallopian tube. We have paired fallopian tube on both sides. Fallopian tube is the fallopian tube is also known as oviduct. Okay, fallopian tube is also known as oviduct. Fallopian tube or oviduct is one of our accessory ductal system, and the uterus is another ductal system. The end part of uterus, the cervix, is another ductal system. Opening of the cervix, that is vaginal opening, is also another ductal system. So ductal system consists of fallopian tube, uterus, cervix and vaginal opening. All together is constituting the ductal system. Okay, fructose is a kind of sugar. It is necessary for the management of sperm. Okay, for the mobility, sperm needs a mobility and everything, no, motility and everything, no. So for the proper functioning of sperm, the fructose is also very important. Okay, you can take a batch Jivika. Okay, your batch name is Jivika. I don't know that. Okay, so first let's discuss about oviduct. Then we will be discussing about uterus, cervix and a vaginal opening. Okay, so first focus on to this fallopian tube. Fallopian tube, this is a fallopian tube. It is almost a 10 to 12 centimeter in length. It is almost a 10 to 12 cent. Okay. I'm from NEET, Malayalam. Okay, my vernacular is Malayalam. Okay, so I'm taking class in NEET Malayalam. Fine. So it is almost a 10 to 12 centimeter in length. Actually, look on to the structure of fallopian tube. You could see in the tip of the fallopian tube, you could see a funnel shaped part, right? The end part is little funnel shaped. That funnel shaped part of the fallopian tube is known as the infundibulum. Here also you could see it is closely associated with the ovary. Why it is closely associated with the ovary? Because during ovulation, ovary will be releasing ovum, and that ovum is actually captured by the funnel shaped infundibulum part. And in the tip of the infundibulum, you could see the shape finger like projection, right? That funnel shaped infundibulum is having some finger like projections in its tip, right? So that finger like projections is termed by the name fimbriae. So infundibulum has some finger like projection which is known as the fimbriae. Both togetherly is involved in the collection of ovum during ovulation. Okay, so during ovulation, the ovum will be released by the ovary, and that ovum is captured by the infundibulum with the help of its finger like projections, that is a fimbriae, and then the ovum will be reaching in this position. Ovum will be reaching. Actually, this is the infundibulum part. Here there is some problem in the representation. This part is the infundibulum part, and here it will reach the ampulla part. It is the ampulla part. So ampulla is the wider part. In this ampulla part only the ovum is reaching, and this is the point of fertilization. From the ampulla part, the fertilization is taking place, and that ampulla is leading to very narrow part, that is the isthmus. The narrow part is isthmus, and actually the isthmus is connecting to the uterus. So now you could understand this is the infundibulum. Infundibulum has finger like projection, fimbriae, and it is moving to the wider part which is known as ampulla. Ampulla moving to the part with a narrow lumen which is known as the isthmus. Actually, isthmus is connected to the uterus. Okay, isthmus is connected to the uterus. Okay, so that's about fallopian tube, and now let's focus on to the uterus. I'm just erasing this. Okay, here there are some mistakes. Okay, now focus on to this uterus. Okay, this uterus is actually divided into three parts. This is the upper part, which is known as uterine fundus, and this is the middle body, and this lower part is the lower part of the uterus known as cervix. Okay, yes, so that are the three parts of uterus: uterine fundus, middle body, and the cervix. Okay, now our uterus is having three walls. Three layers are associated with the uterus. Uterus is having three linings. Which are the three linings? I will show the three linings. It is having an outer lining. It is having inner lining. Actually, three layers are there. I will take some another color. This is the first lining, the outer part. The outer part is just known as the perimetrium. Inside the perimetrium, you have the middle part. This is the middle part. The middle part is known as the myometrium. And the inner part is known as, and the inner part, here we have the inner part. The inner part is known as the endometrium. So, peripheral part, it is just the outer lining. It is the outer wall. And the middle part, myometrium, is actually muscular part. It is the muscular part. So, the muscular part is myometrium. It is actually the muscular place. Focus on. Yes. Okay. Yes. So, the middle myometrium, the muscular part, is involved in rhythmic contractions. Okay, during childbirth and all, the muscular part, the myometrium, will involve in rhythmic contractions, and as part of the rhythmic contraction of the myometrium only, the childbirth is happening. Okay. The cervix will be like this. As part of myometrium's rhythmic contraction, it will get widened like this, and the diameter will be little more wide, and as part of that, the baby can come out. Okay, and the inner part is known as the endometrium, which is a glandular and vascular part. What do you mean by glandular and vascular part? The endometrium is a glandular and vascular part. Vascular means some blood vessels and everything is associated, right? Some secretions will be there. So, as part of menstrual cycle, the vascular part, that means the blood vessel and everything, is shed off, and that is only the blood coming out during your periods, during your menstruation. Okay. What? Penguin. I love brown. I have fair skin. Okay, Penguin. So what are you saying? You are saying that I have brown skin. Okay, anyway, it is no problem. We are so blessed. We have at least a skin. Okay, no issues. Brown skin or white skin. Every skin is good. Okay, fair skin is good. Brown skin is good. Everything is good. Okay, that is just different traits of the character of our skin. We will learn everything in genetics. Okay. Your accent is pure Malayalam. Okay. Okay, Penguin, what to do? Because I'm a Malayali. I'm from Kerala. Thank you. Okay. So that is about oviduct, infundibulum, ampulla, and isthmus. Fine. It's about uterus, three parts: upper fundus, middle body, and a terminal cervix. Okay. The three wall layers of the uterus: external perimetrium, middle myometrium, inner glandular and vascular endometrium. Okay, so it is actually opening to the vagina. And now moving on to the female external genitalia. No problem. I will not take it in wrong way. Whatever you say, everything, I will take everything positively. Okay. Okay, Penguin, no issues. Okay, so female external genitalia. These are the parts associated with the female external genitalia: mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen, and clitoris. Okay, so just look. This is the mons pubis part. Here it is a fleshy kind of part, and hairs are all over the mons pubis. Okay, on the side, this side lips, which is actually fleshy and which is having hairs all over it, and that part is the labia majora. Inside the labia majora, some fold of skin is there, which is not covered by hair, and that part is the labia minora. And the vagina is partially covered by hymen. Okay, and towards the top of the urethra, we have a very sensitive part known as clitoris. Okay, this is not much important. I just mentioned. Okay. Now about the mammary glands. Okay. Okay, Yasir. The important, of course, it's up to you. Okay, Pen. Okay, Yasir. I will speed up. No issues, Yasir. I'm considering your comment. It's okay. This is our first class. We are coming to know each other for the first time. Okay, I don't know about your demands. Okay, so all of you, please say your demands. I will change my class accordingly. No issues. I will take everything positively. Ma'am, this much of spam, this much of disturbance in this particular. Okay, Chitra. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. No, Chitra, I don't have any such issues. All chapters are equal. Okay. Okay, Yasir. Okay, so now it is the mammary glands. So the mammary gland is actually modification of sweat glands. Yes, I know Anagha ma'am. I know Jibika, I know Anagha ma'am. Okay, so this is actually the mammary gland, the associated glands in case of female. So actually the mammary gland is also divided into so many compartments, so many lobes. These lobes are known as mammary lobes. Okay, you could see the mammary lobes. Inside the mammary lobes, clusters of cells are there, and each clusters of cells are known by the term mammary alveolus. And each of these mammary alveoli will be opening into some tubule-like structures, which is actually known as mammary tubule. It is not shown in between. Okay, so here we have mammary lobe. Inside that, mammary alveolus is there. A mammary alveoli is opening into mammary tubules, and the tubules together form the mammary duct, you could see, and so many mammary ducts together forming the mammary ampulla. And from the ampulla, the milk is sucked out by the baby through the nipple through the lactiferous duct. Okay, so the correct order is like this: mammary lobe, inside mammary lobe, mammary alveoli opening into mammary tubules joined together and forming mammary duct, and mammary duct opening into ampulla. From the ampulla, milk is sucked out through the lactiferous duct and nipple by the baby. Okay, the like kind of dark colored skin seen all over or surrounding the nipple is known as the areola. Okay, so is this clear for you? Is this clear for you? So that's about mammary glands. That's about mammary glands. Now moving on to the next topic. Yes. Hi Kutapi. I know Harida ma'am. Okay. Now don't change the level. Okay Piyush. Okay. You need some method to remember the order. Okay. I will teach you some method to remember the order. Okay. Okay, so I will show you a code. You just remember this code. Lat dad. What is lat dad? Latin dad. So, lat dad. Latin dad. What is this order? Mammary lobe, mammary alveoli, mammary tubule, mammary duct, mammary ampulla, and lactiferous duct. Okay, the final one is lactiferous duct. The first one is mammary duct. So, Latin dad, lat dad. That is the order. Okay, so that is the order: mammary lobe, mammary alveoli inside, opening into mammary tubules joining together and forming mammary duct, and they are forming mammary ampulla and then lactiferous duct. Clear? Clear? Hi. Hi Rampash. Hi Ramparos. Hi Ram, official one. Okay, so that's the order. Now moving on to gametogenesis. Initially, I will be discussing spermatogenesis, and then after I will be discussing oogenesis. Okay. So first it is spermatogenesis. Okay. So during spermatogenesis, the spermatogonia has to become the final sperm or spermatozoa. This process of conversion of spermatogonia into spermatozoa is known as spermatogenesis. From the initial part only, we discussed that spermatogonia, the male germ cell, is the precursor cell and it is 2N in ploidy. And finally, the spermatozoa haploid ploidy, N is forming. Okay, so just look on to the process spermatogenesis. So initially spermatogonia will be there by the onset of puberty. If it is the seminiferous tubule, by the onset of puberty towards the wall part of the seminiferous tubule, so many spermatogonia will be there, and this spermatogonia will undergo mitosis and it will double its number. So many spermatogonia will be there, and some of the spermatogonia will be differentiating into primary spermatocyte. Okay, it will be differentiating into another structure known as primary spermatocyte. This primary spermatocyte will undergo meiosis. It will undergo first meiosis. Okay, it will undergo first meiosis, and after first meiosis, primary spermatocyte will become secondary spermatocyte. Okay, it will become secondary spermatocyte. The secondary spermatocyte will undergo meiosis 2. It will undergo meiosis 2, and after meiosis 2, the secondary spermatocyte is converted into spermatid. Okay, it is converted into spermatid, and by some differentiation, the spermatid is becoming sperm or spermatozoa. Actually, this is the process spermatogenesis. Okay. Okay. So this is actually the process of spermatogenesis. So just focus once more. Spermatogonia is 2N in ploidy. Okay. It is undergoing some differentiation, and as part of this differentiation, it is converted into primary spermatocyte, which is also 2N in ploidy. Okay. That will undergo first meiosis. Meiosis 1 means it is reduction kind of division, and as part of that, secondary spermatocyte will be formed. It is N in ploidy, that means it is haploidy. Okay, then second meiosis will take place. It is equivalent to mitosis, and as part of that, again spermatid of haploidy. That means N condition, spermatid will be formed and it is converted into spermatozoa. Again haploid sperms are formed. Okay, yes. So this is actually the process spermatogenesis. This process, just look on to this process. Here I show you one differentiation. The spermatid is differentiated into spermatozoa. That process of differentiation of spermatid into spermatozoa is known as spermiogenesis. That process is known as spermiogenesis. Okay. After spermiogenesis, spermatid is converted into spermatozoa, and the spermatozoa now has to be released into the retitestis after getting enough nourishment from the Sertoli cell, and that process of release of spermatozoa into the retitestis after getting nourishment is known as spermiation. That process is known as spermiation. So actually that's all about spermatogenesis. I will show you one more thing because I want to show the number. Okay, so I want to show the number. Just imagine this is the spermatogonia. So many spermatogonia is the spermatogonia. Some of them get converted into primary spermatocyte. So this is spermatogonia, this is primary spermatocyte. Okay, primary spermatocyte will be undergoing first meiosis. This is undergoing first meiosis, and it is dividing into two secondary spermatocyte. Okay, this is primary spermatocyte, this is secondary spermatocyte. Okay, yes. So after first meiosis, one primary spermatocyte becomes two secondary spermatocyte, and each of these is undergoing second meiosis. Okay, and as part of second meiosis, these are converted. This will become 2, this will again become 2. So totally 4 spermatids are formed. Okay, 4 spermatids are formed, and during the process of spermiogenesis, they will be forming spermatozoa. By spermiogenesis, they will be forming spermatozoa. Then only the process of spermiation will take place. Okay, is this clear? Is this clear for you? Is this clear for you? So the picture is shown here. Okay, Pavan. Okay, Pavan, you are hearing my class for the first time. I'm actually taking my first class in this channel. I'm from Malayalam channel. Okay, so spermatogonia, it will undergo mitosis and will it will double its number, and some of them will differentiate into primary spermatocyte. So here you could see the primary spermatocyte. It is undergoing first meiosis. 2 secondary spermatocyte is formed. It is undergoing second meiosis, and again from the 4 spermatids are formed during the process of differentiation. That means during the process of spermiogenesis, it is converted into spermatozoa. Then it is the process of spermiation. Okay. Thank you. In case of males, this process starting only by puberty, or puberty only this process happening. Okay. Yes, by puberty only it is happening, it is getting started. Okay, now we have to discuss about oogenesis. That's all about spermatogenesis, actually structure of mostly Pawan. Yes, you have to learn the structure of sperm also. This is actually very important. You have to learn all the parts, the tail part, the middle piece part, the head part. Inside the middle piece, mitochondria is provided. Inside the head part, the nucleus is provided, inside which the genetic material is present. And this structure is very important. The acrosome, the head-like, the cap-like structure present over the head. The cap-like structure present over the head, which is rich in acrosomal enzymes, which is actually helping for the fusion of plasma membrane of both sperm and ovum during fertilization. During fusion process, during fertilization process, the enzymes from the acrosomal membrane is actually helping. Okay. Yes. So now we have to discuss about oogenesis. Ready? Now we have to discuss about oogenesis. Are you ready for oogenesis? Actually, after oogenesis, we have one more big topic, not much big, one more topic, that is menstrual cycle. After that, it is only small topics. Ready? So I think we will complete this chapter by 6:30. So ma'am, according to you is yes. No. For biology, NCERT is enough. For biology, NCERT is enough. Okay. So now it's oogenesis. So you guys, yes, hyaluronic acid and such kind of enzymes are present. Okay. So in case of oogenesis, you have to be a little more cautious. You have to be a little more cunning. Okay. You have to be a little more cautious and cunning. So what is the process of oogenesis? It is the process of formation of mature ovum. It is actually taking place in ovarian follicles. So what do you mean by follicles? Here you need some things to get cleared. Okay, so just focus on to this topic. Actually, these are two ovaries. We have two ovaries, right? I am just drawing only the two ovaries. Inside the ovaries only the ovum is forming, right? During the formation of ovum, actually it will be inside some specialized cells known as follicles. Okay. So actually, ovum is developing inside follicles. Yes, Pavan, I had lunch. Okay. So ovum is actually developing inside follicles. So inside the ovary, we could see some structures known as follicles. Inside follicles only, the ovum is developing. During the process of development of ovum, that means while ovum is undergoing oogenesis, like it will become primary oocyte, secondary oocyte, just like spermatogenesis, it is also undergoing first meiosis, second meiosis, everything like that. Okay. During the process, actually, the follicle is also developing. Initially, it will be primary follicle, then it will become secondary follicle, then it will become tertiary follicle, then it will become graphene follicle, just like that. The follicles are also developing. Inside the follicles, the process of oogenesis is also undergoing. So, togetherly, while discussing oogenesis, we have to learn the development of follicles and also the process of oogenesis. So, just focus, okay. So, in case of males, actually, the spermatogenesis is initiated only by puberty. Only during puberty, the spermatogenesis has initiated. Okay. In this picture, it is evident. At the puberty, only the process of spermatogenesis has started. But in case of oogenesis, it is starting from the fetal life onwards. But it is getting arrested by the half of the fetal life, and that arrest is removed, that block is removed only by the puberty, and after puberty only the remaining events is happening. So in case of male, it is happening only by the puberty, but in case of females, it is starting in the fetal life, it is getting arrested there, and that arrest is removed only during puberty, and the remaining events is taking place during the puberty. Okay. So let's see oogenesis. So in the embryonic stage, like just imagine this is a female lady, she is pregnant, this is her uterus, and inside this is the female fetus. Okay, this female fetus is having two ovaries. I am just drawing the two ovaries of the female fetus. And during this embryonic life of this female fetus, at the time onwards, the oogenesis has initiated. So at that time, A couple of million oogonia or the female mother cell. Just like spermatogonia, here we have oogonia. That is the precursor male germ cell and this is a precursor female germ cell. This is the egg mother cell, that is the sperm mother cell, and this is the egg mother cell. So a couple of million, that means 2 million oogonia is formed inside each fetal ovary. Okay, then what will happen? No more oogonia are formed and added after birth. By the development period itself, 2 million oogonia is formed. Okay, but now what will happen means, in case of males, we saw that spermatogonia will be converted into primary spermatocyte. Just like that, oogonia will be converted into primary oocyte. Okay, in the fetal ovary, the oogonia is converted into primary oocyte. It is converted into primary oocyte. Then what will happen? The primary oocyte has to undergo first meiotic division, just like primary spermatocyte undergoing first meiosis. Just like that, the primary oocyte will undergo first meiosis, but it will get arrested by the prophase. It will get arrested. It will get temporarily arrested by the prophase stage. Then what will happen? That arrest is there until puberty. Each primary oocyte then gets surrounded by a layer of granulosa cells and they will become primary follicles. I said along with the development of the oocyte, follicles is also developing. So it is the primary oocyte. This primary oocyte in the arrested stage of meiosis in the prophase stage, then it is getting covered by a kind of granulosa cells. Now that kind of granulosa cell is forming the follicle and now the primary oocyte is inside the primary follicle. Okay, then what will happen? Then more layers of granulosa cells will cover. This is the first primary follicle. More layers of granulosa cells will cover and a new theca will be formed. A new theca, one more layer is formed and now it is becoming the secondary follicle. Okay, then what will happen? The secondary follicle will transform into tertiary follicle. At the time, a fluid filled cavity known as andrum is also present and this theca layer will get thickened and it is divided into two layers, that is the inner theca and the outer theca. Now it is the tertiary follicle. Okay, now the tertiary follicle again will grow in size and inside the tertiary follicle what is present? Inside the tertiary follicle only the primary oocyte is present in the arrested stage, right? At the time actually what will happen means, now the child is in puberty. The birth has taken place and till puberty this is in this space, in this particular stage. Okay, like it will be like this. It will be like this. In the menstrual cycle, you have learned that the follicular phase. No, we have learned after menstrual phase, we have follicular phase. And during that follicular phase, actually what is happening? During that follicular phase, the follicles, primary follicle is converted into secondary into tertiary into Graafian. That follicle conversion is actually taking place during the follicular phase of menstrual cycle. That means from embryonic development stage onwards, puberty, during that time period, during the entire time period, the primary oocyte covered by primary follicle is there. So whenever the lady reaches the puberty age, each month arrest of each follicle is removed and by the onset of each follicular phase of particular menstrual cycle, the primary follicle will be converted into secondary into tertiary into Graafian. The remaining follicles are in the same arrested phase in the primary follicle stage itself. In the next month, another follicle will get converted into further follicle development phases and then only the arrest will be removed. Okay, you got it. So just tell me you got it. It will be like this. I hope you got the meaning. Okay. So, during the follicular phase, the tertiary follicle, inside the tertiary follicle, the primary oocyte is there. And during the follicular phase, during each month, the hormones will come and remove the arrest of each particular follicles. At the time, the arrest will be removed and the first meiotic division, the arrested meiotic division is going to get completed. The first arrested meiotic division is going to get completed and as part of that, a haploid secondary oocyte and a tiny first polar body is formed. Okay. Then what will happen? The secondary oocyte again has to undergo second meiosis, but again the second meiosis will undergo one another arrest. Okay, it will not get completed, and this arrested secondary oocyte stage only the ovulation is happening. Okay, so actually how is the further conversion means I will say the secondary oocyte retains the nutrient-rich cytoplasm of the primary oocyte. It is unknown that whether the first polar body divides further or not. That's okay. Then what will happen? Just imagine the tertiary follicle further changes into the mature follicle, which is the Graafian follicle. The tertiary follicle again now is getting converted into the Graafian follicle in the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle itself. Then that secondary oocyte forms a new membrane over it, zona pellucida, and only by this phase the Graafian follicle is getting ruptured and ovulation is taking place. So when Graafian follicle is rupturing and when ovulation is taking place, actually inside the tertiary follicle, inside the Graafian follicle, what is there? Only the secondary oocyte in the second meiotic arrested phase is there. Okay, so I will conclude once again I will conclude. It is like this. Once again I will be concluding. So you please focus what I said. I am concluding. Okay. So in the fetal life, initially 2 million oogonia is there. 2 million oogonia is there. Okay. Oogonia. Some of the majority of the oogonia is converted into primary oocyte. It is getting converted into primary oocyte. Then what will happen? The primary oocyte has to undergo first meiosis. But what will happen? It is under arrest. And this primary oocyte is covered by primary follicle. So inside the primary follicle, this is the primary follicle. Inside that, the arrested primary oocyte is there. And this is how this child is going to develop until puberty. And by the onset of puberty, each primary follicle carrying arrested, each primary oocyte will get removed by that arrest. During each month, only one will get removed by the arrest. Okay. That is actually the menstrual cycle. One of the ovum is only releasing, no? So, the remaining oocyte in the primary follicle stage is in the same arrested situation. Okay. By the next month only others will get removed by the arrest. Okay. So, what will happen? By the puberty, during the first menstrual cycle, what will happen? Hormones will happen, and one of the selected primary follicle inside which primary oocyte in the arrested stage is there. Then what will happen? The further follicular development will take place. It is getting converted into secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, and a Graafian follicle. Okay, it is getting converted into tertiary follicle and a Graafian follicle, and in between zona pellucida layer is going to form. And from the tertiary follicle only the arrest is removed. Now it has become secondary oocyte. But secondary oocyte starts its second meiotic division, but again it is in the arrest. Okay, and inside the Graafian follicle, after getting covered by zona pellucida, what will happen? Ovulation will take place. During ovulation or after ovulation, actually our ovum is in secondary oocyte stage in the arrested form. That second arrest will get removed only when it gets contact with the sperm. Okay, so that's about I will show you the picture. Okay, once I will show you the picture, then it will be more clear for you. Okay, just look on to this picture. Please look on to this picture. So during the fetal life, yes, I will show you. I will say you. So during the fetal life, oogonia will be there. So many primary oocytes will be formed, and primary oocyte, what will happen? Primary oocyte is under arrest. Okay, first meiosis will start, but it is under arrest. So what will happen? It is like that. In the arrested primary oocyte covered by primary follicle, that will continue till puberty, and by the onset of puberty, hormones will come. Okay, hormones will come, and during the first follicular phase, primary oocyte gets primary follicle becoming secondary follicle becoming tertiary follicle, and such kind of things will take place. And inside the tertiary follicle, the arrest will get removed during the puberty by certain hormones, and the primary oocyte will complete its division into secondary oocyte and a first polar body. Okay, the one which is getting divided after completion or after removal of the block of the first meiotic division is the secondary oocyte structure. Another associated structure is first polar body. Actually, oogonia is 2N imploidy. The primary oocyte is also 2N imploidy. After meiosis, the secondary oocyte is N imploidy. First polar body again is N imploidy. Now, if sperm is coming in contact, the secondary oocyte will complete its second meiotic division and ovum, and another polar body will get formed. Okay, another polar body. Yeah, this is the secondary oocyte, and after completion of secondary meiosis, ovum and another polar body is formed. In case of females, you could see the formation of polar body. Why? Because ovum is the structure which is coming in contact with the sperm, right? So sperm has to travel and come from male body. So for the swimming of the sperm, it is only having less cytoplasm. It has to be in a special kind of spindle shape. So maximum cytoplasm is avoided from its body. So most of the cytoplasm has to be conserved into the ovum, because so many enzymes, RNAs and everything has to be provided or has to be kept inside the ovum, because the first cell, zygote, is actually forming from the ovum, because sperm is only having a little cytoplasm. So most of the components necessary for starting of the life is present inside the ovum. So for that, maximum amount of cytoplasm is accumulated in the ovum, but we have to maintain the ploidy. So just to maintain the ploidy, just to avoid or remove half of the genetic material, polar body formation is really necessary. So now I think you got the meaning. Okay. So that is a schematic representation. Oogonia becoming primary spermatocyte, primary oocyte. It is becoming secondary oocyte and first polar body. It is becoming ovum and the second polar body. Okay, so is this clear? So here you have the structure of ovum. You could see plasma membrane. Here you could see the plasma membrane is surrounding the ovum, and after plasma membrane, you could see the vitelline membrane. After vitelline membrane, zona pellucida is there, and after that, corona radiata layer is there. So the inner one is actually the plasma membrane. Okay. So that's about the structure of ovum. Now we have to discuss about the menstrual cycle. Now we have to discuss about the menstrual cycle. So second dose that is released. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, it is mentioned because the male gamete has to be released during ovulation. No, while telling little more specifically, it is the secondary oocyte, not the ovum. Not the complete ovum is released during ovulation. Only the secondary oocyte form is released. Ovum will be formed only after by getting contact with the sperm. Okay. Okay. Wait 1 second. Ram sir. Ram sir. Ram sir. Ma'am. Can I continue till 6:30?
No. 6:15 need to complete. 6:15.
Sure.
Yeah.
Any another live?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So, okay, Pavan. Okay. So, actually, we have only a few more minutes left. So, what do you think? Actually, after menstrual cycle, we have to discuss some more topics, I think. So, we will have second part of this live session, which will be better. What do you think? Which will be better? What do you think? Which will be better? I think this our live is up to 6:15, and this time will not be enough for us. What do you think? What do you think? So, shall we stop it now and we will continue the remaining topics in the second part? Will that be okay? Yes, Pavan. Yes. That's what I'm asking. So that's what I'm asking. So shall we complete it here? Shall we wind up the session? What do you think? So I think yeah, okay. So now again we have to discuss about menstrual cycle. We have to discuss about menstrual cycle. Then after we have to discuss about fertilization. Then we have to discuss about zygote formation. Then we have to discuss about cleavage. Then we have to discuss about blastula. Then we have to discuss about gastrula. Then we have to discuss about implantation. Then we have to discuss about the gestation and the embryonic development. And then we have to discuss about parturition and finally lactation. So I think this time will not be enough. No, this time will not be enough. So I think we need 1 more hour for completing this chapter, which will be handled in the next session. Okay. So guys, thank you. Thank you. So you can inform your comments here. Okay. So you can review your reviews. Hi, Miss Dangerous. Who is this Miss Dangerous? So I think today we can wind up the class here because this time, this remaining 5 minutes will not be enough for us to complete this chapter. We require 1 more hour, I think. So maybe keep one more session for course. Yes. Okay. So yes, exactly, Pawan. So it will be perfect if we are adding one more session, 1 more hour for this chapter, so we can complete the remaining sessions. And I will be adding most of the PYQs. Okay, collection of PYQs for you, my dear kids. Okay. Then I don't know. We will be informing. Okay, you could check this chapter very frequently. Soon I will come. Okay. Abhi I have our class B. Khalam hoega. Oh my God, Miss Dangerous. I didn't understand what you were saying. Ma'am. Your name is Rehana. Okay, Rehana. Yes, sure. Vishnu Vardhan. What is that? Vishnu Vardhan. I will take NEET PYQ. Okay, so I think you can give me your comments after the live session. Okay. Prabhat, I don't know. Ma'am, I want to ask you something from my heart. My God, Anamika. And I will completely respect. Okay. Okay, Anamika. Sorry, I'm already married. Sorry for that. Okay, I'm already married. Okay. Anyway, I will be telling my name once more. My name is Blessy Maria Biju. Blessy, Blessy, Mara Maria, Blessy Maria Biju. Okay, if you want, if you're having any doubts, you can contact me even through the social media or anything. Okay. So my ID is also same. So yes, that's it. Okay, I'm okay, Anamika. I'm respecting your comment also. No issues. So we will continue. We will discuss the remaining topics in the next session. So yes, your name is Adarsh Santosh. Okay. So what you have to do means after winding up this class or after completion of this live session, you can give me your valuable comments and reviews in the comment section. If it was nice, if it was useful for you, if you are able to follow this class, you can drop a comment. Okay, I think you will do that. My name itself, Prabhat, my name itself, Blessy Maria Biju. Okay, so you guys please do that. Okay, hi Ritu, hi Adarsh. Okay, I'm getting all of yours comment. So what you have to do means to yeah, so after the live session, you just drop comments in the comment section. Okay, the class. Oh, no problem is dangerous. You can start the class from the very beginning. Okay. So before coming to the next session, you complete these much topics and remember not to be late in the next class. Okay, dangerous. Okay. So see you all guys. See you in the next class. Give me your comments. Give me your valuable feedback. Okay, give me some motivation to next class. If it was useful, you can inform me that. So we will see in the next session, in the next live session. Bye. Till then, bye. Take care. See you all. All of you are nice kids. I love you all. I like you all. Very comfortable students. Too much supporting students. Thanks for all of you. Love for all of you. Bye. Thank you. Guys, you give me that here, you give me the comment after completion of this live session, after winding up. In the comment box, you have to give comments because that will motivate, that will be an encouragement for another students also to watch this. Okay, if you are putting the live comments here, then that will disappear, right? While after the completion, we can't see these comments. So you put your comments after the completion, after the stopping of the live session. Okay, so bye dears, bye bye, bye all of you.